All right, Shalom. Before I get started, Barakathia Hawa, Barakathia Hawa Shai, Barakathia Hawa, Barakathia Hawa Shai, Barakathia Hawa, Barakathia Hawa Shai, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Secondly, want to give double honors to the elders apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, who are the true leaders of Israel today. Also, they give another shout out to the up and coming elder Kazat of the Man of Israel camp down here in Greenville, South Carolina, whom I teach up under. I also like to give another shout out to you, Sincere Akim, throughout the four corners of the earth that's pushing this truth and all sincerity and righteousness in these last days. And I also like to give another shout out to you Israelite foreigners that's looking like the other heathen nations causing confusion, coming back to our heritage in these last days. And I also like to give a quick shout out to you few Outwat, you sisters out there that stand in order and doing what y'all need to do in these last days who truly believe. All right, so y'all, I like to say shalom. In today's video, I'm gonna go over this article, that I saw today. But I knew about it, a couple of days ago. But I decided to go into it, man. We mentioned it in our camp, our recent camp video. You can tune into that at Man of Israel, too, and watch it, But pretty much like what the head of the camp was saying, pretty much they not running out of gas. They controlling it, man. All right. Why they controlling it? Because first and foremost, you got to understand these 18-wheelers, what? They use diesel, you see? So if these 18-wheelers ain't running off no gas, how you going to have food? You see? It's all a controlment, man. They controlling this, man. All right. Because they want you to depend on them, So when there ain't no food in the grocery stores, what you gonna do? And my pops, he drive trucks, man. I meant to ask him about it. Lord willing, I call him either today when I wake up, because I work third shift. So either I call him when I because I just got off not too long ago, so get ready to go to sleep in a few. But Lord willing, if I wake up, I'm gonna call him and ask him about it, But yeah, man, they not really running out of diesel, man. All right, they controlling it, man. All right, to bring in a famine, and ultimately it's the Lord doing it. At the end of the day, man, the Lord is bringing this famine. All right, so I'm gonna read this article and we're gonna get some scriptures, and Lord willing, be edifying. All right, it says while the U.S. has a diesel shortage, it says last week the Energy Information Administration (EIA) reported that this distillate inventories were at their lowest level since 28. The primary distillates are diesel, jet fuel, and heating oil. It says, however, in 2008, distilled levels were low coming out of spring. Currently, they are low going into fall. That's far worse than the situation in 28. It says distill demand generally spikes in spring when the farmers are planting crops, and in fall when they are harvesting these crops, and people start buying fuel oil for winter. All right, and it's gonna be a dark summer, like Creepy Joe said. I believe this was a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago. It was like it's gonna be a dark winter. All right, and that dark winter is coming, man. It's gonna be a very dark winter. When you can't, you ain't got no like you say, you ain't got no people start buying fuel or for winter. You see, to get heat. You see, some people gonna die just because they cold. Some people can't take the cold. You see, you might have newborn, especially newborn babes. But it says thus a low distillate inventory in late April 28 isn't quite as serious as a low inventory in October 22. It says, in fact, distillate inventories haven't been this low in October since the EIA began reporting this data in 1982. It says these low distillate inventories are why diesel prices are above $5 a gallon nationwide, even though the nationwide average price for gasoline has dropped below $4 a gallon. Why is there a diesel shortage this year? There are 4 factors, but 2 of those factors are in play every year. And the thing is, there is no shortage, man. You see, there's no full factors why, it's a shortage. Esau is controlling this, man. All right. But it says, I'm gonna read a couple more and then we're gonna get the scriptures. It says, as mentioning above, distillate demand spikes at this time of year, but it does that every year. This is also the time of the year that refiners are doing maintenance. They tend to do that in the spring and fall, which is when demand is lower and the weather is decent. So refinery capacity drops at this time of year. You see that? We'll read this little part right here. It says, but the primary reason is the cutoff of Russian imports. Prior to Russia invasion of Ukraine, the U.S. was importing nearly 700,000 barrels per day. It says of petroleum and petroleum products. Most of those imports were finished products and refinery inputs that boosted distilled supplies in the U.S., man. All right. So actually, man, Esau is not having, actual shortage of diesel. He's controlling it, man. He don't want it to get out there, so they could bring in food shortages, man. 'Cause people need that, man. All right. Those truckers need that. You see. So let's get some scriptures. All right. We're going to close it out. Right now, we're gonna jump it out with 2 Ezra 6:22. Now, this is talking about the actual storehouses, but you can also apply it to what's going on right here with the diesel shortage, right? So it says 2 Ezra 6:22, and suddenly should the sown place appear unsown, the full storehouses should suddenly be found empty, and they claiming that the diesel that there's no more diesel, it's just empty. It's about to be a shortage on it, man. There's not about to be no real shortage, but prophecy got to be fulfilled. So the Lord's gonna make it, where Esau, where Esau have it where you can't get it, man. All right. Not only those truckers take it, you got these other cars, like these other trucks, that take it, man, as well. So some people not gonna be able to get to work. You see that? Because they truck or whatever take diesel, man. So what you gonna do when your car don't take diesel, man? I mean, if your car take diesel, what you gonna do? You're gonna look stupid. You're not gonna be able to get to work. If you ain't gonna be able to get to work, how you gonna pay your bills? How you gonna pay your house payment? You see, your rent or your mortgage. How you gonna pay your car payment, your car insurance? How you gonna pay for food? You see, if you ain't got no job, and those little checks don't be lasting forever. So it says, and suddenly should the sown place appear unsown, the full storehouses should be suddenly be found empty, and they running out of that diesel, man. Claiming, aka claiming, quote unquote, claiming to, have a shortage of diesel, which they not really not, but the Lord put it in their spirit to do so, man. To act like there's no more diesel, man. All right, because ultimately the Lord is judging the earth, man. You see, the Lord is about to bring in that famine, like He mentioned. Matter of fact, the Lord spoke on that it was going to be a famine as well. Let's get that in Matthew 24 and verse 7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, right? And you seeing that? It says, in kingdom against kingdom. And there should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. You see that? Those famines. You see that? The Lord says it's going to be famines in the end times, right? And like I said, what's going to cause that famine to happen is, what's going to cause those famines is, those truckers not being able to drive to put the meats and food, whatever they need to go, because they the one that's shipping out the food, man. You see, they the ones that's doing that. You see that? But then if you ain't got no truckers, how you gonna get the food there? Because these grocery stores only got what, a week, not even probably a week, but I'm a say a week. I really don't want to give it that. I really want to say I believe it's 3 days, 3 days worth of products, man. Like meats, cereal, whatever you need, milk, butter, cheese, whatever you need. They really only got 3 days supplies. You see that? So these truckers can't get to moving, what's gonna happen? Famine. The people are gonna starve, man. You see, but at the end of the day, you know why we don't worry? Because this precept right here, I believe it's in Isaiah. I believe it's in Isaiah. Yeah, Isaiah 65:13. This is why we don't worry. It says Isaiah 65:13. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh God, behold, my servant should eat. You see that? But ye should be hungry. Behold, my servant should drink. But ye should be thirsty. Behold, my servant should rejoice. But ye should be ashamed. You see that? And they're gonna be ashamed. Why? Because they didn't listen to the prophets, man. Because they're also gonna be ashamed because they ain't got no damn food as well. You see? It said, but the point was, it says his servants is going to eat. Why are we going to eat? Because we're doing the will of the Lord, man. You see that? And ultimately, we got faith as well that the Lord is going to feed us, man. I always like bringing out these examples, these beautiful stories like Daniel in the lion's den, man. Beautiful story, man. The Lord had him, in a damn lion's den. And if I'm not mistaken, it was either Haggai or it was Habakkuk. It was one of the two. I can't remember which one. I believe it was Haggai, though, if I'm not mistaken. But it was one of them two. It was either Habakkuk or Haggai. But anyway, the Lord had one of them two. I can't remember. I don't want to say, it was him when it wasn't him. But the Lord had one of them two, give him food, man. And actually, when you read the story, they didn't even know what Daniel was. He was like, man, what Daniel was? I don't know what the hell Daniel was. They didn't know what Babylon was. They didn't know what that was. So the Lord had an angel, if I'm not mistaken, grab him by his damn head and ship him over and what's the word? Teleport him over there to Daniel and get him the food, and then teleport him back where he was, man. So that's beautiful, man. The Lord, hey man, the Lord can have a brother just, hey, you hungry, you like desperately hungry, and the Lord see you hungry and you feel like he about to tap out. Hey man, the Lord can have a brother just boom, give you food right there, or an angel could bring you food right there. We don't know. Or Lord can have something rain from the sky and you eat that, or damn, you might have a goddamn horse or something bring you food. I don't know, man. Just know the Lord gonna make sure you fed, man, because the Lord said, "Look at the generation of old and see that any of them was confounded, trusting Him." Roughly paraphrasing, man. So the Lord can find different ways to feed you, man. Hey, if it came down to it, hey, the Lord can have an ant feed you, man. Hey, you never know, man. That's the beautiful thing about Yahweh, man. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, man. You see that? Especially when you got faith behind it as well. But it says, therefore, thus said the Lord, Yahweh God, behold, my servant should eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant should drink, but ye should be thirsty. Behold, my servant should rejoice, but ye should be ashamed. You see that? We're gonna rejoice, man, because the Lord fed us, man. You see? And the scripture said they're gonna be hungry, man. Who is the they? 2/3 of my people in these other heathen nations. You see? The Lord gonna make sure his elect straight, man. Especially when we've been doing the will, man. The Lord ain't gonna forget that, man. You see? That's part of our spiritual bank account, man. These people, they ain't got no damn spiritual bank account. They worrying about a physical bank account flashing their little money, man. We worrying about a spiritual bank account, so we can use that for the day of wrath, man. But let's go to Lamentations 4:9. It says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, scraping through for want of fruit of the field. You see that? The scripture says it is better to die by the sword, meaning any killing instrument, man, like the gun, actual sword, a knife. It's better to die that way than to die of hunger, man, because if you die of hunger, man, that's a slow ass death, man. Your stomach just eating its inside, man. That's tough, man. And that shit hurt, bro. You get a mean ass headache when you hungry, man. Bro, like like sometimes you feel it when you fast, man. So just imagine just going 2, 3, 4, 5 days without eating, man. Especially in these weak ass bodies that we got, man. Hey, man, it's gonna be terrible, man. Especially for you 2/3 out there, man, that think this shit is all a game, man. Thinking the Lord ain't finna bring judgment, man. You see? It said, let me read that again, man. They that be slain with the sword. The Lord, man, the Lord said it's better for you to die of this sword, this killing instrument, than for you to die of hunger, man, starvation, man. You see, because that's a slow death, man. I wouldn't even, boy. Hey, that's a very true statement, man. I would have died of the sword, man. Just go ahead and whatever you want to do, shoot me or whatever. But dying of hunger, man, that's slow death, man. Slow death. You gonna feel every last bit of it as well, man. You know. So let's go to 2 Ezra 16, and we're gonna get uh uh let's go to 2 Ezra 16, and we're gonna start at verse 17. It says, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? And that's showing you reincarnation as well, because why would Ezra say, who would deliver me in those days? Woe is me, woe is me. Why would he say that if he's not there's no such thing as reincarnation? You see that? So Ezra is here today, and Ezra is gonna go through this, man. You see, Ezra was in that woe is me spirit, man. You see that? But it says, verse 18. Now, we know Ezra is going to be delivered, of course. He was a prophet, you know. But it says, verse 18. 2 Ezra 16 and 18. It says, the beginning of sorrows. You see that? This is the beginning of sorrow. Jacob's trouble, man. You see? It says, and great mournings, the beginning of famine, and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evil. What shall I do when these evils come? And what should you do? You should trust in the Lord, man. That's what you should do. You see, when these evils come, these bad times, because the word evil means bad times, man, when you look it up. All right. But it says the beginning, the point was, it says the beginning of famine and great death. You see that it's going to be famine and great death going on, man. You see that? It says, verse 19, behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scorners for an amendment. You see that? It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scorners of are sent as scourges for amendment. You see that? So the Lord is doing this, man. The Lord is having this upcoming famine coming up, man. Because ultimately he's judging the earth, man, for all the wickedness they did, man. All right. It says, but for all these things, they should not turn from their wickedness, man. Nor be always mindful of the scourges, man. That's sad, man. They seeing all this shit going on, you know. But guess what? The scripture said they ain't even gonna turn from their fucking wickedness. They just gonna die. They ain't gonna be like, well, damn, let me change my. They ain't even gonna be like, damn, let me change my life for the Lord, man. The Lord said, but for all these things, they should not turn from their wickedness, man. That's showing you how wicked Israel is, man. You seeing all this shit going on, and you still don't want to repent and turn back and trust in the Lord, man. That amazes me. That shows you that the Lord don't want them to get it, man. Because after you see all this shit, you don't just want to be like, damn, what's going on? Let me ask questions. You don't want to be like that's. I don't understand it, man. Like, if I see something going on, I'm gonna ask and be like, what's going on? Or I'm gonna ask, you know what I'm saying? I'm at least trying to acquire. They ain't even trying to turn from their wickedness. You seeing that, man? You seeing all, like, for example, with the C99. The shit got serious. Our people still want to BS and party and be around people, and you know what I'm saying? Our people don't take nothing serious, man. They always want to be in the house of feasting, man. You see, that's what's wrong with our goddamn people. But let's go to 2 Ezra 6 and 24, because during the times we coming into, you're gonna really have this going on, man. Right? You're gonna really have this right here going on, because what I was about to say. People think they all buddy, gang, friends. Oh, that's my brother, that's my sister. Hey, man, during that day, man, hey, this is what the scriptures say. Especially when it's a famine and you hungry, you got to provide for your family. All right, 2 Ezra 6 and 24. At that time, shall friends fight one another? At that time, should friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth should stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The spring of the fountain should stand still, and in 3 hours they should not run. You see that? You see that, man? This said the scripture say they should fight like enemies, man. Like enemies, like they were never friends, man. It's like they were never friends. The scripture said they're gonna fight like enemies, man. Meaning it's like, oh, I ain't never put you in it in the first place. You know, I had to cut that little piece out. But it said at that time should friends fight one another. It's like, let me read it again. At that time should friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth should stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The spring of the fountain should stand still. In 3 hours they should not run. You see that? So for you niggas out there that think that's your friend, that's your buddy, that's your gang, hey, we're gonna see during that day, man. All right, when you got a food shortage, right? We're gonna see how much of a friend that was in that day, man. Right? We're gonna see, man, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing to see friends fight like enemies, man. Right? But guess what? If you're a brotherhood of Yahweh Shai, you won't have. Well, I ain't gonna say that because you're gonna have some brothers that's gonna turn on you in the day of wrath. You see? But it's like you. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry. But yeah, like I was saying, man, friends is gonna fight like enemies in that day, man. But like I was saying, you're gonna have brothers even turning on you in the day of wrath as well. You know, you never know because, for example, Judas Iscariot, he's back here today. So hey, more than likely, he probably back here today. So hey, he could be amongst your camp, man, and he might could turn you in. You know, fighting against you like an enemy, man. You know, so we don't know. All right. So let's close it out with this. 2 Ezra 15 and 19. A man should have no pity upon his neighbor, right? Whether if it's his friend, his next door neighbor, or whatever. It says a man should have no pity upon his neighbor, but should destroy their houses with the sword, meaning the gun or any killer instrument, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So you're gonna have people on a rampage, the murk you because they got no food, they hungry, man. So it's about to get real out here, man, for you niggas out there and you Israelite women out there that think it's all a game, man. All right. So Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'm gonna close it out by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachakadash. Shalom to the next time.